Well, hello and welcome, guys. You won't believe this, but I think that the internet in Bali was actually better than the internet in Europe. So hopefully this will work. Thankfully, this time we have a chat box, so that's cool. So glad to have you guys here. So glad. If you're here, just let me know. Well, obviously you're here. Let me know where you guys are from. I'm very curious to hear exactly where you're from. Let me know. Let's see if it will show me in the chat box. Let's see. It's not showing me anything. So that tells me that the internet's not working because it's not letting me see any of your comments. This is not good. Come on, Europe. You're supposed to be like on top of it. Ah, here we go. Michigan, the Bronx, North Carolina. Okay. All right. So some of these are coming in. Michigan, Long Island, Maryland, hot Chinese man. Awesome. Mississippi, India, SoCal, Fresno, SoCal. Awesome. Wonderful. Houston, Texas. Did you enjoy the Greek cuisine? I did. Oh my gosh. It was amazing. The food in Italy was incredible. Absolutely incredible. So thank you, Stephen. Stephen noticed my hair. I literally just had it cut. Yeah, I literally just had it whacked off. So, all right. So we are going to talk about the things that drive her wild when you do this to her. You know, there's a perfect combination that a man can do that really drives women wild. Someone just said, "Do I have fake hair?" No, I do not have fake hair. That's quite funny, actually. Um, so there's this beautiful, beautiful. Uh, Someone just said I'm blurry. Okay, shit, that's not good. Hopefully, you guys can hear me well. Um, so there's this beautiful combination of when a man does these two things together, it really drives a woman wild when you do this to her. And the problem is if you just do one without the other, it loses its fizzle. It loses its that push, that thing, that spark that just really sets her wild. So, and it's something that I talk about a lot, and then uh I think there's a lot of hesitancy around both of these. I talk about it over and over, but it's not always, these two things are not always the easiest things to do. Men just don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. Yeah, sorry guys. The internet here in Portugal seems to be even worse than Bali. Go figure. So it's these two things. Oh, now it's buffering. Oh shit. So annoying. So here's the two things that guys do that can really drive a woman wild when they do it in combination. This is the trick, doing the two together. And I've talked about this so much, and I will continue to talk about it because you have the courage to follow through on this. And that is this one man way that makes her feel unique, makes her feel sexy, makes her feel desired, makes her feel seen. When he's able to do that, which I know a lot, why? Because it's something new. It's not something we're used to experiencing. So we're just always going to go, huh? So what I was saying, you guys are saying, thank you for letting me know in the chat. That's actually very helpful. Thank you. What I was saying is when a guy can not only speak things to a woman that makes her feel special, sexy, unique, desired, but when he can bring in touch and bring that combination together, that is what drives a woman wild. Uh, yeah, I agree. Dodd just said, please make a video about this and upload it. I completely agree because this is not working so well, this internet here, which I notified my Airbnb person and they just didn't respond. So that will be going on their review. Uh, so When you are speaking things to a woman that really make her feel unique and special, and obviously, I made the compliments Bible for you guys so that you guys know exactly what to say to a woman so that you don't get stuck there. But it's just not enough to say those things that make her feel special, that make her feel unique. You also need to bring in the touch, and here's why, because of what I was just saying earlier. Because people get so skeptical, they get so in their head, like, why is he saying these things? Why is he saying that? But when a man can bring in touch, confident touch, here's the thing, not just like, eh, but confident touch. What does touch do? Touch facilitates connection. Touch brings us into our bodies. Trust allows us to be able to connect with what we're actually experiencing. But when we just say things without touch, what happens is some women just get stuck in their head. I think we all kind of can, just not just women. I think men can as well. But when we touch one another, when you just do that little on her arm, when you move the hair from her face, when you go, you have a really beautiful wrist, or when you go and you grab her hand and you go, aren't those some very delicate hands you have there? Those little subtle touches, it brings a woman back to her body so that she's just not so in her head. I know a lot of guys, you guys can probably relate to this when you're approaching a woman for the first time. What do? You get so in your head. Or when you're making love to a woman, what do? You get stuck in your head, like, I hope I last, I hope she comes, I hope I come, all these things. But when you can get into your body as a man, what happens? It creates things to her that make her feel sexual, that make her feel desired, that make her feel safe, that make her feel wanted. And when you combine that with subtle, gentle touch, the two together create an experience that really drives a woman wild. Why? Because there's always that missing element, and at being able. You have some guys who are really good at being able to say nice things, but because they're great at communication, but because they never bring in touch, it's never that tipping point that sets her over, right? And so some guys, I would say that not all guys are really. It just paused for a really long time. Um, I tell you what, it's tricky to keep. God, sorry, Chris was saying. So, what are the things? It's a culmination of two things. It's being able to speak to a woman's heart, being able to say those things that make her feel special, that make her feel unique, that sets her apart from other women. But when you're also able to interject touch with that, when the two worlds come together, this is a tipping point for women. This is what drives women wild. And as I said, we created this compliments Bible for you guys so that you guys are able to know exactly what to say. But just knowing what to say without bringing in that touch, that is what facilitates the actual connection. It's connecting with her on a verbal level, but also connecting with her on a sensory level. I think that's why we bring food into dating, it's because it's like it involves our senses. It helps us to really connect with our experience. And it's the same thing, like when we touch, it helps her connect with the experience that she's having with you. Because if we just use words, I think as human beings, we start making up stories in our head. If we don't have I'm sorry, I love the way you guys are turning this bad internet into something that's fun. You're like, Erica is so hot. She's melting her internet. She broke the internet. I love that. So, yeah, when you're able to bring those two together, that is the tipping point. That is what drives a woman wild. When you're able to say those things that make her feel desired and you're able to interject that gentle, playful touch here and there. They're removing the hair from her face, whispering in her ear how beautiful she looks, complimenting, wow, you have such delicate hands. These kind of things, when they're combined together, they drive a woman wild. So I'm going to try to answer your questions before the internet just completely shits out. Ryan, hello. He says, you are always so sexy and beautiful looking every day. Thank you. That's very kind. Malcolm says, hi, Erica. You are absolutely inspirational. You're empowering to me to greater understanding. That is incredible. It's this kind of feedback that really fuels me to do what I've been doing for 13 years. Uh, let's see. Any other questions? Let's see. Someone's here from Croatia. Very cool. Dodd says he loves my voice. Thank you. Abilene, Texas. Buenas noches, corazón. Muchas gracias, Miguel. Let's see. Any other questions in here? Australia. Welcome, Australia. Besito para ti, corazón. I love this. All right. Let's see. How can I make a cute waitress feel unique and special or some chick online? Well, so that's why I wrote the compliments Bible for you guys to answer just that question exactly. So I would really encourage you to get that. I'll put a link in the um, I'll put a link in the chat, and also it comes with a video so that you know exactly how to say it. So let me just put that in here for you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Um, but it's saying these things with confidence as well, which is why I provided the video so that you know how to say it in a confident manner. You know how to say it and which tonality actually really matters. And I emphasize this a lot in my videos, um, because if I were giving you advice, and I was talking like this, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be so exciting when you do this for a woman, it just kind of puts you off. It's the same thing when a guy doesn't approach things in the right tonality, when he's giving her that compliment to make her feel special, when he doesn't say it in the right tone, it can really miss the mark, so to speak. So that's why I provide the video that comes with the compliments Bible so that you know exactly how to deliver it. And I just put a link in the chat. Someone says, such a tease with the buffering. Um, let's see, another question. When does a man know it's a good time to touch a woman? Listen, when a woman is flirting with you, when she's going, and she's doing the playful hitting, when she is flirting with you. When I say touch her, I'm not saying, it's not like to fondle her, but it's little gentle touches like that. It's a little, as I say, I feel like the hair move is always a very subtle way. It's saying like, wow, really love. I've had guys compliment my nail and that actually means a lot because us girls put a lot of effort into looking the way that we do. So when a guy compliments our nails or something like that, it actually goes a long way. So when you go to compliment her nails and then like, that looks really beautiful on you, and a gentle touch to her hands, it's like, whoo, that magic, that electricity flows, and it's like, whoa, here's a real connection here. So Cayman, you do it when she's giving you those signals, she's flirting with you, she's giggling at everything you say, she's getting nervous, she's flicking her hair. It's always listening to your intuition as well. Like when it feels right, when you feel inspired to do that, then do it. And it's always respectful when it's, somewhere's around the hands or a little brush of the shoulder. Um, but it's that invitation that she gives by a little bit of flirting. But obviously, I'm not talking about just going in and like fondling because that's we know that that's not appropriate. Uh, uh, Someone just said, "Does size matter?" Do you know I did a video on this? Where did that question go? I actually have a video on this, Dodd Records. Type in my search box on my channel, "Does size matter?" I actually did a great video. Hello, Germany. How are you? Okay, so this is a really great question. Antonio Rodriguez says, yes, but what happens when a guy can give a woman a compliment and they feel that the guy's creepy and the woman makes you feel like men can never approach a woman ever? Here's the thing. I think that guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. I think that guys come across creepy when they're not confident in the delivery, which is why I made that video with the compliments Bible so that you guys can feel confident when you deliver it. I think women, when a guy delivers a compliment and he's not confident in it, he doesn't really own it, he's just trying it on for size, he's just throwing it out there, hoping to get something in return, hoping that she approves of him. She feels that needy energy for one, and that is typically what creeps women out. It's the vibe behind the compliment. I'm going to say that again. What creeps women out when guys give compliments is the vibe, the energy, the intention behind the compliment. And we really address this in the compliments Bible of like why you don't want to compliment from that place. Because when you do, women feel that, and when they feel that, that's what pushes them away. I think guys all too often mistake it as, oh, just because I compliment her, she gets creeped out and she's like, f off, you creep. It's not that. The reason why most women are going f off, you creep, is because of the intention behind it. Women are feelers. Human beings, we are feelers. So when she can feel that from you, that it's something that you're trying to get from her. That's what creeps her out. It's not necessarily what you're saying, it's the vibe behind it. And if a woman's a little bit more conscious and more aware, she's gonna, and if she can pick up that you're nervous, then she's gonna at least be kind to you. But if a woman's just being a downright, just she's just grumpy and she's just gonna bitch at anybody, like that's not your woman, move on. Like Jesus Christ could compliment her and she'd be pissed at him too. Like that's just not your person. Don't waste your time on that. And also, guys, I want to encourage you with this. Don't take one bad experience with a woman when you've complimented a woman. Don't take one bad experience, or don't take your past experiences. Maybe you complimented women from that neediness. Maybe you weren't saying the things that are in the compliments Bible. Maybe you weren't saying them from a place of confidence. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe you didn't know what you were doing, but now that you have this compliments Bible, you know what to do. You know how to do it. So when you do it confidently, you'll start having different results. But don't bring your past failures, meaning a failure such as like she didn't acknowledge you, she shunned you, whatever the case may be. Don't drag those into your current experiences. Remember, when we get new tools, we give ourselves a new start. I'm going to say that again. When we give ourselves new tools, we give ourselves a new start. So, if you didn't say it from a place of confidence, if you were hoping that she would just approve of you, she could feel that. Yeah, then it is a game changer. But more conscious women, like, I remember in Beverly Hills, men I used to work in Beverly Hills, and men would be very complimentary there. And I could tell the guys who were really nervous, but it was like they saw something beautiful and they had to say it. They just had to say it. And so with guys like that, I would always go out of my way to say, thank you so much for not only taking the time to say that, but the courage that it took. Because it does, listen, it takes courage from any of us. You have to understand this. When it comes to driving wild, it's going to require courage to touch her. It's going to require courage to say the things that really speak to her. I love to compliment strangers on the street, but every now and then, I get stank faces that look back at me and they're like, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you can at least say thank you. But that's about them. I don't stop complimenting people because of those not so great wrong feeling experiences. I don't go, that's it. I'm just mankind can go with the wind. Like I'm done with being kind to humanity because that person was an a-hole. No, it's like that person was an a-hole. So if you had women that you've complimented and they were a-holes, those were those women. Don't drag it into new experiences because I can't tell you how many times I've seen men compliment women from a sincere place or do that little gentle touch from a sincere place. And I have watched it literally light women's faces up, change their day, create a conversation that, would have never sparked or gone anywhere, has created a connection that never would have been facilitated had they not had the courage to say that, had not the courage to reach out and touch her and shake her hand or do the double kiss, which I always think is so elegant. So, make sure that you don't feel creepy. It doesn't matter how they perceive you. Like people are going to be moody. People are going to have their baggage. But their baggage doesn't get to dictate your life. I'm going to say that again. Women's baggage, women who have baggage and they just shit all over you when you try to do something kind, that's her baggage being triggered and coming out and her emotionally vomiting on you. Not your problem, not your responsibility. It doesn't get to dictate what your life looks like. You keep doing you, you keep doing what resonates with what's right to you. Jason was like, her internet is like when I try to approach a woman. It's a great analogy. Uh, Doug says, Erica, do your lips taste like sugar? I must find out. I don't know. I'll kiss myself afterwards. Um, Erica, you look today younger. Maybe the haircut made me look younger. I was just telling a buddy of mine, I said, I feel like it makes me look like a soccer mom. I feel like I'm going to pick up the kids from soccer practice. Hello from Canada, Ontario, currently in Toronto. Ken from Texas. Erica, did you ever visit Croatia? I did not. I've not visited Croatia. I'm in Portugal. It's kind of tricky to figure out where to go because things kind of just shut down on a daily basis and rules change every day. So, not really sure where to go next. I was going to check out maybe even Prague, and I hear that that's on a bit of lockdown. So, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Spain. We'll see. Um, let's see. Next question. Is this more appropriate after the first date? I think not. I mean, you can do it after a first date, but listen, as I said in my conversation earlier, when you're complimenting a woman, that is the first thing that you can do to create that conversation to initiate the beginning phase of what could be a connection. When you do a gentle touch, sometimes even just like shaking the hand or, kissing the hand, go, it's a pleasure to meet you. I mean, that's a guy with some real confidence there that can do that. But even I love to, when I'm talking to people, for the most part, 90% of people are receptive. But when I talk to people, I'm a touch person. I can't help but touch you. If I talk to you, my hand's going immediately on your shoulder. Like somehow I'm going to touch you because I love connecting with people. And so when you're able to get comfortable with connecting people, you're going to feel comfortable putting a hand here or a hand there as you're talking to facilitate that connection. What are the key signs to look for before you try to escalate from just words to touching? Not trying to get me tooed out here. So when you're doing like a little like sometimes like when just a little hand on the shoulder, like that's a validating, like that validates someone. I understand. I'm with you. I'm here. I'm listening. Uh, I'm connecting with you. That's something that can be done at any point. If a person's just very anti-touch, they're gonna let you know. But for the most part, people, especially nowadays, with what's people who've been isolated for so long, people are craving touch. They're craving that form of connection. So when it comes to very subtle touches like that that are super respectful, super appropriate, just on the shoulder or excuse me, you got a little piece of hair in your face, that kind of thing, or wow, great nails, those sort of things, those can be done from the get-go. It's not like I don't, when I'm touching people, and I put my hand on their shoulder or I, today the gentleman who just cut my hair, like we hugged each other, like, you know, it's like I look for reasons to establish touch with people because I love connecting with people, which is why I do what I do. And when you start developing this as a practice and you start enjoying the connection that you create with people. You're not going to be so concerned about what signs to look for and what are the flags. It's just going to become an innate thing the more that you take risks, the more that you practice it. Someone just said, come to Aruba. I've never been to Aruba. Is that where you guys have is that where like the flamingos are, the pigs in the water, something like that? Hey Sean, glad to have you here. Did the price on the Compliments Bible go up? It's 39.90. So we did when it first came out, it was at 19. So maybe you're talking about that. But yeah, that was just if people had bought it in the next 48 hours. Dodd, thanks for subscribing. Uh, Ninja Wolf, can taller women be sexier no matter how she feels in her skin? There's some women who are very tall and they don't feel comfortable in their skin because they're so tall. I personally think that women who are tall, I think they look so elegant. It's only creepy if she thinks you're unattractive. Even then, though, I've had guys that I wasn't necessarily attracted to or drawn to, um, and they were able to facilitate that connection because I they did it from a place of confidence. Confidence goes a long way. Sean McMillan, I do love this quote. Famous quote from Thomas Edison is, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Um, Jeffrey Shalong says, my lovely coach Erica, can you please tell me how to flirt in a very nice way to my girlfriend so I can do a little bit? I would definitely encourage you to get the Compliments Bible because that is going to not only help with if you're single, but it's also going to help guys who are in relationship, which I think sometimes guys in relationships need a lot of help with that. They just kind of get stuck in their old ways and they forget how to speak to their woman. Loca girl, it's so true. Confident but sincerity with your compliments. Yeah, it's being sincere. It's not having an intention of, I hope I get something out of this. It's like just let the compliment be for the sake of giving a compliment. And when it comes from that place, when it doesn't come from a needy place, that's when it's going to resonate with her. Real recognizes real. 100. Thanks, Dodd Records is true. Um, what up, Newport? Oh, the flamingos. Erica, Madame, un besito. Okay. A girl, AD official says, a girl loves me and she told me that, but she doesn't make effort to make the conversation going. Should I be the only one to ask questions and talk more? That for you, I typically don't try to, I try to keep you guys focused on one program at a time so you don't get overwhelmed. But for you, AD, I would recommend my create and keep great conversation on the date. Because that teaches you there are some principles in that product. If you go to attract and or you can just go to my website, ericaangelo.com. Erica's with an A. It's how it's spelled here on YouTube. Um, that one would really help you because I talk about this spaghetti effect of how you stretch out and elongate conversations with a woman. So that course might really support you in that. Can you please tell me how to talk to a girl who's in a group? The first thing you want to do if your girl's in a group is go and approach the whole group all at once and be like, well, it looks like you ladies are all conspiring to start some trouble. Which one of you is the biggest troublemaker? And so then they're like, and they're kind of laughing and looking at each other. And then you point to the girl that you like and you go, I think it's you. I don't know. Something about you just says that you start trouble, and I should probably be very careful around you. Make sure that you do it just like that. Just like that. Exactly, Ninja Wolf. Erica's with an A, not an E. Um, oh, thank you, Maher Justice. He says, I really dig your hair, Erica. You absolutely look stunning. Okay, thank you guys. That's wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. Thank you. Because when I was getting it chopped off, I was like, I haven't done this since 2010, since I've cut my hair like this. So in 11 years. Um, you're hot, Erica, though no one will complain about you touching them. Not as easy for us average looking folks. That's not always true because I touch women too. Like when I'm just conversating with anyone, it's just my innate reaction to want to touch people. And so women don't care whether I'm attractive or not. I'm a woman. So uh, I think that when it's sincere and it comes from a place of confidence and sincerity, I don't think you can ever go wrong with that because people feel that. All right, guys. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you liked that one, Chris. Yeah, you guys, I probably should have done the whole video around that one. That one was really good in itself about how to approach a woman in a group. I think that's the best way to do it. Always approach a group. Don't just single out a girl. And it takes a lot of pressure off of you. Approach the whole group at the same time. Make all the girls feel included in it. But then you need to really single out the one that you like by addressing a very specific question to her. Um, all right, guys. I am so grateful that you guys were patient with the internet. I'm not going to say patient with me, but patient with the internet. Uh, so thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for being so active in the chat. Like it really helps me out when people are active in the chat. I'm sorry, I just read a compliment and it about made me cry. Thank you for that. That really got to me. Kingy Bo 04. Thank you, Erica. May God give you everything you have in your heart. That is such a beautiful thing to say to someone. Thank you. That really hit my heart. Thank you for that. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Um, Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being here. I just appreciate you guys coming every week. It's really an honor to be able to answer your questions. It's an honor to be able to support you guys and to just get to love on you guys. So remember, guys, that you really matter. Your desires matter, and that you really have what it takes to get the desires of your heart, and that in this moment that you are so deeply loved. I don't think that any of us can hear that next. I don't think any of us can hear that enough, that we're deeply loved. So I just release that to every single one of you right now, that you are deeply loved no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what challenges you may be incurring right now, that you are so deeply loved right where you are for who you are. Okay. I think we need to know that, especially in challenging times where the world can be that. Oh, thank you, Local Girl. Local Girl says, share her video with you every Wednesday. So next Wednesday is my next one. Um, So loving you guys. Make sure that you get, if you haven't gotten the Compliments Bible, I highly suggest that you get that because it does come with a video on how to say these things to women, which I think is a bit challenging for guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you guys in my next live video next Wednesday. And hopefully, fingers crossed, internet will be better here in Portugal. All right, guys, I love you. You all take care. Bye. See you in my next live Q&A in my lingerie.